Greetings everyone, Ray Landis here with another one of my experiments, and I would call it a guitar adventure. This is a Fender acoustic guitar. It's a very inexpensive model. I actually was able to get this guitar for free. This is one of their, they call it a classic design, and this model is called the CC-60S Concert Acoustic. There's no electronics in it. It's just a plain acoustic guitar that has basic features, and they call it a classic series or a classic design. And I ended up getting this guitar relatively free. I ended up signing up for Capital One Shopping, and every time I make a purchase online, they drop a little bit of a rebate into that account, and I ended up with like $230 in there at one point. And I thought, wow, maybe I can get a guitar for that. So I went on eBay, and I found out that Sweetwater actually sells guitars on eBay as well. And I have a tax exempt for eBay and free shipping. So I ended up getting this guitar for free because I only had to take about $199 out of my Capital One Shopping and transfer it over to eBay. So this guitar was actually free in essence, but it's about a $199 guitar, and I would call that a very low-end beginner, type of a pricing. But this is a really nice guitar for what it is, and originally when I got it, it was pretty decent, and I worked on it and did some things to it. A couple things I didn't really like the way it turned out, but for a very low price, I was able to customize this guitar so that it sounds respectable, and you could take it out by the campfire and play it and not worry about it end up, getting damaged or anything. They're pretty rugged, actually. But this entire guitar was like a satin, like a matte finish, and I went ahead and did some work to it, and I put gun oil, it's the true oil that everybody uses, on the sides and on the back, and made it like a gloss. And then on the back of the neck, I was able to do the same thing, and on the headstock, there it is, I banged it already, and on the headstock, so I've got like kind of like a shiny color, a shiny gloss. And then I wanted to do that same thing to the front, but for some reason I couldn't get the gloss to come up. The front's a different, they say that this whole thing is made out of mahogany, but the front was a little different, and I tried, a couple different times. So then I just decided to go back to the satin, and I used some micro mesh that I got from Stu Mac, and I brought this back to like a matte. So even though I've got nice gloss on the sides and back, I brought this back to the matte finish that it was, and it didn't come back quite the way that I had it in the beginning. So I probably should have left this alone, but at the same time, it still looks pretty decent. You can tell it's not quite exactly perfect, but it does look pretty nice. And then I decided to upgrade the bridge, the bridge pins, and the nut, as well as the tuners. So I was able to get strap buttons in a gold color. I was able to get bridge pins and a saddle in a gold color. And then, of course, I got the brass nut. The tuners were about $15 on Amazon. And then I went ahead and I bought some of the Giacomo inlay stickers that are sold for about $10 a set on Amazon. These are, I think they call these the Jerry Garcia ones, but they actually kind of enhanced the gold. I took the pick guard off of it because I didn't really want the pick guard on there. You can still see a little bit of a shadow where the pick guard was. And I used boiled linseed oil on the bridge, and I used boiled linseed oil on the neck because it was very dry. The frets were actually very nice. These frets turned out super nice. When I put the bridge in, I ended up increasing the action, and it was kind of uncomfortable to play. So I took that brass saddle and I went ahead and I rubbed it on some really coarse sandpaper. It was like 60 grade or 60 grit, and I rubbed it on there and took off enough to be able to get the action down to like 180 thousandths of an inch at the 12th fret. So the action's pretty good. I did have it a little bit lower, and I did that by taking, you can see inside the body there is an access to the truss rod, and I tightened that truss rod up and made the neck really flat at first, and I got the action like really good. It was super low, but it had a tiny little buzz, and I thought, well, maybe I'll just back it off a little bit. So I loosened it up and increased the action a tiny bit, but it's still, the action is very good on this guitar. And I think overall it's very attractive. It's got a nice look to it. It looks better without the pick guard. And the gold and the inlaid stickers really make it a nice looking piece. And it's a Fender, so it's got a nice name on it. And I had an extra one of the inlaid stickers. I put that up here. So this was my adventure for the week. It took a little longer to get all of the gun oil to dry and then kind of go back and fix the error on the front. But it didn't require a lot of work. It was pretty simple, and it didn't require many tools. So this guitar really does have a nice sound to it for being what it is. And the size is nice. It's very comfortable, and the fretwork is good. So I just hope maybe this encouraged someone to step out and try one of these, because again, this is a very inexpensive guitar, about $200, and with about maybe $25 worth of parts, and I ended up with a really nice acoustic, and it rings. It really has a nice sound to it. So again, I hope this encouraged somebody to step out and try something of this nature. If I can do it, you can definitely do it. And if you've enjoyed this content and you've gained something from it, I'm going to ask that you give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, comment and share, and I'll see you next time for the next guitar adventure. Take care.